All right. So we're going live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the greatest SHONEN poll results of all time. All 22 people. But nonetheless, we are doing the greatest SHONEN poll results, manga and anime inclusive. It's a Griever stream. Host with the most, Griever, as always. And Misk, you're in here. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday.
Don't forget to plug your channel, man. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I think Griever has it linked somewhere. It's here in the description. There you go.
There you go. All right, so unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this did not do as well as I would thought. I was hoping for about 50 odd people. Unfortunately, we only ended up with 22. 22 votes. Maybe I made it too big. Maybe I made it overcomplicated. That's my bad. I apologize. So I'm a little disheartened here on this lovely Friday. However, I feel like we still have plenty to talk about because we're still going to go through this entire bracket and we're going to talk about shit. So it is what it is. So, and only people that voted are allowed in the VC. So Miss did vote, Neve voted, Bernice voted, which, by the way, Miss, would you mind just tagging Bernice? Because he said he would be awake.
Sure thing. I will tag both of them.
Yeah. Because Bernice got a new microphone, apparently, last year or whatever, so he can actually talk for once. But he was the first one to vote, in fact. The moment I posted this, Bernice was the first one, so... And Misk, we can talk about we won't talk about the poll because you obviously want to talk about the results in your anniversary stream coming up soon. But there was a Record of Ragnarok poll that just closed. And that did extremely well. 275 votes. Very well. Very well. Were the results surprising to you, Misk?
Not really. It went. Listen, the rounds I expected to be at the top were in the top, and the ones I expected to be closer to the bottom were in the bottom. So I'm not very surprised.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, even given our own both personal opinions on round to round, I don't think anybody expected these results to be any different.
Yeah, not really. It was about within the range I expected.
The only result that surprised me is that round 7 wasn't any lower. If you catch my drift.
It was pretty fucking low.
Yeah, but I mean, anyways, we'll get into that on your anniversary stream. I don't want to take away content from you, you know.
In reference to that, though, and how well this poll did, I think it may have done slightly better if you did a Google poll thing instead of doing through DMs, because that usually requires more that people know you or contact you on Discord. Whereas with the Google Forms poll, it's kind of anyone can do it. It's just way more easy to do.
Fair enough. I don't know how to do that, so maybe you could teach me off stream later on.
I haven't done one in a very long time, so I probably have to remind myself how it works.
Yeah, my results would probably thank you for that. Clarice is in here and says hi and is good. Temnio said, greetings, I'm proud to say that I am caught up or have completed all of these series when I've started the Shaman King on Volume 3. Fantastic.
Hey, Griever, which role do I have to give Bernice to join the DC?
Give him a lion. Lion should do it. I have no fucking idea. As I said, I never set this shit up. Bernice has been in here before. Why the fuck is he blocked?
We're in mod discussion, so.
Oh, I put mod discussion because I was worried about people. Like, remember last time we did it in general? This was a couple years ago, or not a couple years ago, a couple months ago. But you remember, Misk, that we had a few people that were talking a lot about things that we did not give a shit about.
Yeah.
And I don't, and, you know.
Hey, Bernice.
Oh, is Bernice in here?
Oh my god, Bernice. Let me turn up your volume a little bit.
Yes, I still have the shitty microphone left.
Oh, wow.
Well, alright. It's okay if you have the shitty microphone, but yeah. We're all good. So, Bernice, what did you think about this poll?
I thought it was pretty interesting. It was quite tough in a lot of places. It was quite difficult making a choice.
Well, that's good because I thought that the reason I didn't get so many votes was because there were so many either there were so many options or that the other side of it was people didn't care about the series that I was talking about. And I tried to get a little bit of everything, like I told Misk. I said I grabbed the big three, I grabbed some like 90s series, and I grabbed some like 2020 series, and I sort of mishmashed them all together and said, hey, what do you think? You know?
Makes sense. I think that one of the reasons people may have not voted is the quantity of choice.
All right. I mean, clearly this time, this shows me that I'm not big enough to do a stream like this. Like, roughly 1,000 subscribers. Maybe I'm not ready to tackle a voting or a poll type of stream.
In all fairness, I remember trying to do something like that for like Elden Ring stuff, and I only ended up getting like 27 votes in the poll.
Yeah. So
So
maybe
like,
it's that.
you know.
Yeah. So maybe it's part of that. You know, it would have been better had I waited for Cyclone there to do the Record Ragnarok shit and went, hey, we're going to make a video based on this one, you know? I probably would have been better off. But
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Anyways, all right. So I don't intend this to be a 4-hour endeavor. So why don't we just go straight away to the first poll, which would be the MC. Now, I'm curious, before I reveal who won the MC, what do you guys think? Who do you think won?
Let me grab the image
no
quickly.
fucking
I
idea.
can remember.
There are a lot of people I can see here being potential winners. We got Ichigo, very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Toriko, maybe. I don't know how popular Toriko is amongst the people who participated in the poll. Luffy, of course, very popular. I don't know how many people here give a fuck about Naruto.
Only on many.
JJK is quite big right now. You cover Kengan.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to say. I would more so be
This is
curious
a
to
next
see
question.
how close
All right.
the
Well,
votes are.
I'll tell you what. What is your all right? Here's how we're gonna have to make it fun. Both of you have to pick one.
One.
One. Shit. Yeah. One. You have to pick one that you think won, not the one you voted for, but one that you think won.
Okay, I see.
Probably Luffy.
All right. We got Luffy.
I'm going with Yuji.
Yuji. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, while I keep, for some reason, have to keep adjusting. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Hold on. Why my video has to keep being adjusted is beyond me. Wait, what?
OBS is a bitch sometimes.
It happens.
It's fucking me over the other day.
Wait, what? Just give me a sec. Oh, I keep editing the wrong thing. That would make sense.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
No.
I keep editing the wrong thing. That would make a whole lot of perfect nonsense.
I imagine your OBS has quite a few things in it.
I have 29 things. 29 sources.
Yeah, you know
Of course.
that'll
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it, but I'm trying to make it all clean, you know, within the parameters of the beautiful layout that I create, you know.
Right.
Anyways,
I see we
all right.
have moved. The backgrounds of the stream also has like a 30-second delay. So
Yeah, I've been moving things, so unfortunately it wasn't pretty before, and still. See, here's the problem. I fixed all this before the stream started, and now supposedly it's all fixed now.
Supposedly.
It's not. It's all back. Like, I don't get it. It's expanded. Like, I put everything in the parameters that I want, and then it gets... God damn. Okay. I think everything's okay. Maybe. Christ knows. It'll be fucked up in a minute. But anyways. Alright, so point is, we voted on the main character, right?
correct.
And we said, Misk, what did you say?
I think Luffy probably wins.
Luffy, Bernice, what did you say?
Yuji. I think Yuji wins.
Yuji. Alright, so the winner is... Let's look at the bracket. Ichigo and Luffy are tied.
Haha! I fucking knew it.
6 for 6 with 22 voters. We have Ichigo and Luffy tied. I'm not actually surprised by that. I'm not.
Me neither. Now, what I am curious about is how does the rest of the votes look? Those remaining 10 votes.
Yes. The remaining people.
Yeah. So clearly number one, and I don't think anybody would argue that both Luffy and Ichigo are great characters. Great MCs. That's not really that surprising. Goku running in at number 4 is also not that surprising.
He's probably, yeah, makes sense.
He's kind of the OG. He existed long before Luffy, Naruto. He's like, if you guys have ever seen the picture, the Naruto picture where it's Goku saying, "Hey, I'll pass you guys on," you know, the Naruto picture. It's cute, but it works. Goku's the original Shonen MC. Then we have a bit of a tie between Toriko with 2 and Naruto with 2.
I believe it.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is that comparable?
Toriko is not as popular of a series as the other ones, but the people that have read Toriko are like, yeah, Toriko is fucking great. And then, Naruto is like the anime. So, one of the anime. So, not surprised
it's
by
one
that.
of the anime, makes sense.
What were you saying, Bernice?
I was just agreeing with Misk that it's one of the anime.
Alright, so far, I think we've all agreed that Ichigo and Luffy, obvious choices for number 1.
Yeah, it's just...
Yes.
Goku
those are two of the biggest series.
Goku being number 2 and or 3 makes sense.
Yeah.
But Naruto versus Toriko, like me personally, I think that Toriko's a better written character.
I haven't read Naruto, so I can't say. All I know is what I've heard.
I find myself in agreement with you, Griever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Toriko is a far better character.
Yeah. I think here's the deal, is that Naruto is not a bad... Some people would say that I'm a Naruto hater. I'm not a Naruto hater. I agree that Naruto is a story. And it is a sometimes very well written story. Doesn't mean that all the time it's well written. And the thing is that Toriko never really falters. Bernice, Misk, you've both read Toriko. Does it really ever falter? And if it falters, is it for more than 5 minutes?
The only time I would say Toriko ever really falters is during the underwater portion in the final arc, and that's just because there's not really much in the way of the big hype action, and instead it just decided to focus more on characterization. But as a result, it was kind of like boring compared to the rest of Toriko.
It was pretty boring. I'd say that the final arc itself, God, is also a low point for the series. I understand why it was getting axed, but I don't think it's an excuse.
So you both agree that Toriko was interesting up until the final arc, then?
Up until, the point at which we started rushing things, and then even then it was quite entertaining.
Yeah. Then I'm going to make an argument and say that my point stands, is that Naruto was sometimes interesting, sometimes weak, sometimes this, sometimes that. Toriko remained consistent up until he got axed.
You can make that argument. Yes. I haven't read Naruto, so I can't say anything.
Once again, I actually do not... So many people think I hate Naruto. I do not hate Naruto. I think it's a mediocre story at best, but I still don't hate it. I think it's a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It's not a bad story. It's just not a great story. So there is that. Now we move on to the ones who got the ones, which is both Yuji and Oma.
Shout out to me and Neve for those votes.
Yeah, those were the only votes. So
yep.
All right, so Misk, why don't you take it away with Yuji? Talk your smack. Let's go.
I just really like Yuji. I think he works really well within the setting of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think he works really well for the general themes of the series. He is... A lot of people talk about how he is weak compared to a lot of the other characters, and I just think that's one of the things I like about him. I find weaker characters are far easier to find compelling because every struggle they encounter is far more of a struggle. It's far more tense. It takes a lot more effort and dedication to overcome those challenges. It's usually a lot more emotional and satisfying when those challenges are overcome. I liked him well enough prior to Shibuya, but I think everything that happened during 2 and his development after Shibuya has made him into a great character. And he's probably my favorite MC out of any currently running series.
Well, fair enough. Before we get to Bernice on that one, I just want to quickly, because I didn't think we'd actually get a chat rolling. Clary said, I didn't know about it just now, so maybe it's bad time for the poll. At this point, anybody can include themselves because I thought the poll would do a lot better, so jump in. Maybe you'll change some votes. Artist is giving the stone face thing like he always does. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
As usual.
I'm not emoji. I'm old. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what that means. Clary said, I love Naruto.
It's hard to describe what it means.
Oh.
It's just sort of like a general.
Vibe. It's more
It's
of a
just a
vibe.
vibe. I'm not sure how to describe
I'll,
it.
I'll take you guys' word for it. Jesus Christ. I'm too old for this shit. Joseph said, "Hey Griever, I wanted to join, but unfortunately I'm swamped with work shifts since the Mario movie came out. Sorry." Well, clearly Joseph probably works in a movie theater or something like that. Very sorry to hear that, Joseph, but I'm glad that you were here to show some support and yada yada yada. Tenryo said, "I'm happy that Meliodas and Deku got 0 votes." Why Meliodas though? Meliodas, literally, if I didn't vote for Ichigo, which me personally, ladies and gentlemen, I voted for Ichigo, but I would have voted for Meliodas. Like, what the hell? Meliodas is one of the best characters, period, in shonen manga. What are you talking about?
I think it's just a lot of people.
Don't like Seven Deadly Sins. They just
Yeah,
hate
I
it.
think that's just what it is.
That's
A lot of
so
people
weird.
just fucking hate it.
I don't know why. It's so weird. Yeah, you know what? You know what my problem is? Is that everyone loves One Punch Man and Demon Slayer because of great animation. A1 Pictures does Seven Deadly Sins. Everybody hates it.
Okay,
Why?
but Griever, don't you even acknowledge that the manga fell off really hard after a certain point?
Yeah, after chapter 312.
That's very specific.
That means there's 300 chapters of greatness before it.
I think it may also just be the author seems to like and include some stuff that just people kind of raise some eyebrows
but
at.
Miss, my point is that One Punch Man, like, all right, this might be the worst thing I ever say. One Punch Man wasn't even good to begin with, but it's still, because of great fucking art and animation, sold itself on that premise and went crazy. So I don't understand.
Well, I'm not a One Punch Man fan, so I can't really say for certain. But I'm pretty sure Murata picked up the adaptation for it because the webtoon became popular.
Yeah, but
Yes.
he only and then it became a big thing.
And then it became more popular. Yeah.
Right. So my point is, anyways, it doesn't matter. My point is that I'm just unhappy with the fact that, like, okay, when a story gets good, like Demon Slayer, for example. Demon Slayer is a mediocre manga. It's 5 out of 10, 6
That's
out of
true.
10. But
It's on the higher end of mid for me.
it's got the same thing that nothing original is in Demon Slayer that every manga before it hasn't done. However, because of fantastic animation by a great studio, it's now considered a 10 out of 10. That's not fair, and I'm not buying it. It's just not the way the world works. It's the way the world works. It's not the way I work. Because you produce something that is mediocre, but you capitalize on the new niche, doesn't make you great. Sword Art Online. Perfect example of that. Yet no one will bring up the comparisons between Sword Art Online and Demon Slayer. They are literally the same thing. Sword Art Online and Demon Slayer. Mediocre stories, fantastic animation and marketing and publicity. That's a perfect example. And I actually like Sword Art Online better than fucking Demon Slayer.
Oh,
I really do. I'm sorry. I do.
that's a big take.
It is because at the end of the day, the voice actors, the soundtrack, the OST, everything is far superior to Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has fantastic animation, but it's a story that was told in 1998. It's called Rumiko Takarashi's Inuyasha. Except it was done better by Rumiko Takahashi in 1998. Demon Slayer is not original. It has no original villains or plot. It's the same fucking thing. And fighting Michael Jackson does not interest me. I'm sorry.
I have some things I like in Demon Slayer. I think it has some things it does well, even if they're not original.
No, and that's the thing. As I said, I called Demon Slayer a 6 to 7 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's...
You called it like a 5 out of 10 like 2 minutes ago.
All right. So 5 out of 10. But once again, my definition of 5 out of 10 is still average.
No, I know, but like that, you're now like flipping between it being like purely average. I feel absolutely nothing about it, and like 6 to 7 out of 10, it's decent.
Fair enough. I am flipping my... But I feel like flipping my ranges, considering that most people do their whole 5 to 0 means nothing, and 5 to 10 means everything. I feel like I'm allowed to do my actual 0 to 10. I'm allowed to sort of flip-flop between 5 and 6 a little more frequently.
Griever, it's your opinion on series. You can do whatever you want with them. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
No, you make a good point. My point is, Demon Slayer, it's fine. It's fine, but...
It's fine. I look forward to looking at the pretty pictures every Sunday. It's
Yeah, it's more about that. But, yeah, so, Clarice said classic Goku. If you like Toriko, you like Toriko a lot, generally. Well,
I don't know anyone that likes Toriko a little bit. I either know people that have not read Toriko, people who don't like Toriko, or people who think Toriko is the shit. There are no people that think it's okay.
There's no in between. It doesn't exist for Toriko.
Either love it or you didn't get it.
You hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a bit surprised about Ichigo. Really? That's interesting. Depending on where Naruto is in the show, where Naruto when he was a kid, the best. Him depends on the reason people like the characters, I guess. I think the stone face from Night of the Museum. Overall, chill on the part of the ride. I like Meliodas, but I do think the story could have been a bit stronger. It's hard to get a read on Meliodas for a while. A lot of people. I mean, I really think Seven Deadly Sins is underrated as shit by the community. Tenryo said, I barely even watch the anime. I'm only going off on the Seven Deadly Sins manga, which, once again, is actually a little bit better. But the first 2 seasons of the anime hit like crazy. That OST and shit just sells it. Like, I don't get it. Tenryo said, Kenshin getting 0 votes is understandable. It is. Like, Bernice, you read it. Yeah. You understand why. It. But we all love Kenshin. He's a fantastic MC, right?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's just the other ones have more presence and personality than him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is the problem when you add a whole line of MCs. It's like there's too many to choose from. It's crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's too popular, these guys. He definitely deserves more love. Kenshin is a great MC. 110%. I mean, I would vote for him. I think Batosai is amazing. Clary said, I think execution is everything. It is. Sword Art Online has grown on me, but I think more because of affection spilled out from the Witty Entertainment version. And I have watched Witty Entertainment's abridged series. I love that too, but... yeah. Joseph said, I'm pretty sure the reason people don't like Seven Deadly Sins is because the racial to them looks weird and disgusting, like the same Meliodas and Ban act like pedophiles, which is just ridiculous. Yeah. And also, Ban and Meliodas have probably one of the best romances in manga history, period. So, yeah. And
well, I do know the author. I don't read it. The author has apparently put some kind of weird shit into the sequel.
Oh yeah. Here's his problem. Yeah. He doubles down, Miss. He doubles down on the whole. Okay, the lolly is 1,000 years old, so it's okay. And
yeah, and then everyone else is like,
I agree.
No, it's not.
No.
Oh no.
I'm with you. I'm with you on
the 7 deadly cases.
Oh. Speaking of pedophiles, whenever I read Kenshin, I'm just going to read it wherever I normally do so that the author doesn't get any money from it.
Yeah. Just don't give him money. It's a good series. Don't give him money, though.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we talked about Yuji, who's a great character. I think we can all agree Yuji's a pretty good character, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I agree.
So then, the one who tied with him was Oma. Now,
I
in my
agree with
personal books, I would put him above Yuji because Tokita Oma, ladies and gentlemen, is the epitome of. He was some batshit crazy Kenpachi motherfucker who just said, fuck this, fuck that, I'll rape ya, bitch. And then he came into his own throughout the series of Asura. As he got his memories back, he became a more wholesome character. Some people say he became docile by Omega. Fair enough. But I think it's because he was a wild beast before. A wild beast who lost his memories, if anybody who read Asura gave a damn. And then, think about it, he got more docile because he gained more memories. And then he became the whole rounded character that we know and love. And I'm not upset that the only person who voted for him was Neve. But
Unsurprising.
listen, I'm not upset that Oma got a vote because current running story, assuming that Hellverse is not happening, I would give Oma my vote. If I had to do current running, out of all these, I would give Oma my vote. Because I like him more than Yuji. I like him more than Goku. I like him more than Luffy. And assuming Hellverse isn't really technically ongoing, then yeah, I would give it to Oma. I think he's fantastic. So, Bernice,
I think that's fair.
Misk, do either one of you have something to say about Oma?
No, yeah, Alma's whole character arc in Ashura was really, really good. I think just the issue people have in Omega, it's not about him so much becoming docile. It's just that a lot of his charisma from Ashura is just like non-existent anymore. He is just sort of like, oh hey, it's Oma. See, he looks just like Oma,
See?
and he does the Nico style, but he has like almost none of the personality he had in Ashura. He's just kind of there.
To be completely fair to Oma, I think it's mostly because he doesn't have any entertaining fighters to bounce off of. Like, Lolong is really not that great of a character. You can't really give him much to do.
You know what? I agree with both of you. I think that's fair. I think the problem is that the Lolong fight was so problematic because we needed a fighter to make Alma push his limits. We needed Alma to show up and be like, because as I said when I was doing my reviews, I was like, I don't care that it doesn't make sense that Alma's back. I was so happy because most of the characters that we know and love were traumatized and disheartened that Alma was dead. Alma coming back was... Everyone says that was the end of Omega. It's not. That's not the fault of Omega. Omega needs to understand the weight of fights. It's not Oma coming back. It's letting people actually die. Which they seemingly refuse to do since Oma came back. Like,
Or, you know, and as long as you're a villain, you're allowed to die, but otherwise...
Right, like
Otherwise,
you know what would have been great, and once again, I would have hated it, of course.
You know,
but
villain or like a 90-something-year-old geriatric patient, then you're allowed to die.
You know what would have kicked the fan base into gear? Gao Lang dying, Wakatsuki dying, somebody relevant
somebody important.
dying. I'm not saying it would have been right or fair. I'm saying it would have kick-started a holy shit.
Yeah, it's just because the issue is there's not really much in the way of tension in Kengan.
Right. See, when we read Asura, anybody could die. We had
It
no
didn't
idea.
happen very often.
And then literally, not the villain, not the main antagonist, not the main character. Nobody won it. The random old dude won that tournament. Master Roshi won the tournament. So... anybody could have died leading up to that. And that would have been fine. So that's what we need in Omega. And that's what's missing. But I do agree that Oma is a really great main character. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, I think we should probably speed things up for the next Rose, so we don't spend 4 hours here on this one.
Well, yeah,
That's probably a good
for the
idea.
best.
Fair enough. I mean, granted, we've only spent 35 minutes, but still. Yeah.
True, but we got like 7 rows to go through, so.
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
a lot.
I do agree. All right, so let's see. We're gonna. I think that will do it. I was trying to. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So the next round is, of course, the main villain.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, who do we have winning?
I bet Aizen wins.
Aizen.
Yeah, unsurprising.
Is anybody? Yeah, nobody's surprised, right?
Right.
So Aizen clears it, unlike Ichigo and Luffy with 6 tied. Aizen clears it with 9 wins.
Damn.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, unsurprising. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Aizen
good.
wins with 9 wins. And I mean, it's, yeah. So to speed it along, anybody got anything to say about Aizen?
He's fucking Aizen. I don't have to say
He's
anything
Aizen,
else.
man.
I
know him.
I personally voted for Midora just because I like Midora more as a character, but like I'm not fucking shocked in the slightest Aizen when he's like
I'm
the
surprised.
anime villain.
Yep, and in
He's the
second
guy.
place, we have tied Pain and Frieza with 3 apiece. What do you guys
Yeah,
think about
I
that?
believe that too.
Yeah, these picks are unsurprising.
We have
They
what?
all make sense.
One of the only anime villains more iconic than Aizen, and then who I'm pretty sure everyone agrees is the best Naruto villain. I'm not shocked in the slightest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And surprisingly, I got no, because once again, I reiterated in the video and in the Discord that if you thought there was a better vote, like, for example, Madara or somebody like that, or Cell, or, Yuha Bach, you were more than willing to vote and say, hey, no, my vote is for Yuha Bach. My vote is for, Perfect Cell or somebody like that. I never got any of that. So, thankfully, that's the case. And I'm actually a little surprised that Frieza tied with Pain. I guess there's a lot of Naruto fans. Because
Seems like it.
I think Pain's a great villain, but Frieza, I mean...
I guess it's a difference between how iconic you are. Like, there's a difference between popularity and
Quality.
well, I guess this is a popularity poll, so that's basically what it is.
It's basically popularity poll.
Also, really quick, before we continue this, because I forgot to talk about them. So, because Miss said, yeah, we should speed this along, and we should. So, Meliodas got 0 votes, Deku got 0 votes, Yo got 0 votes, and Kenshin got 0 votes. So, quick word about both of them. Meliodas, I think he's a really great character. Yeah, he's so good, and I think he's far beyond a lot of the people that got votes in this one. Deku sucks. Yo is one of my favorite characters of all time. Very sad that he got 0 votes. And Kenshin, while a great MC, kind of classic, and that is what it is.
Just not well
I feel
known,
like-
one thing.
So
Yeah, I feel like most people haven't read Kenshin and
So
Shaman.
what I'm gonna do right quick, just so we can get caught up, is Bernice, say anything you want to say about those characters, really quick.
Nothing really. This is the least surprising top 3, I guess.
Okay, Miss.
Exactly what I expected.
Yeah, I'm not really shocked by this at all. These are like the 3 most popular villains in the row here. Yeah, I'm not really surprised in the slightest.
Okay, So, and then the next, so in third place, tied for third, is a three-way tie between Blackbeard, Midora, and Shishio Makoto. So, I'm going to let Bernice, why don't you talk about these three villains?
Well, it was Blackbeard, Shishio Makoto, and
Midora.
Medora. Well, these are also unsurprising choices. I mean, Blackbeard is from One Piece, which is this One Piece. It's popular as shit. Although, no, it's unsurprising that he got to this point. I mean, the other. Actually, no. I do think it's surprising that he's above Sukuna because he hasn't actually done that much, especially when compared to Sukuna. He's
Really?
Yeah, I'm surprised he's above Sukuna because he's done a few things, but not as much as any of the other villains on this
Who are
row.
we talking about?
I think it's
Like,
because the stuff Blackbeard's done is more iconic.
Blackbeard has
Yeah.
literally sunk
That is
Marineford.
true. Yes.
You know, he sunk Marineford. He was one of the people that put down Whitebeard.
Sukuna,
He was responsible for Ace
realist-
getting captured.
I'm actually surprised that Sukuna has no votes because Sukuna has literally done nothing in the realm of JJK. Really, what has he done? He terrorized a teenager. That's
Well, you have that, and then you have the shit that happened in Shibuya, and then you have the shit that's
That was big.
so
2
he
months
blew
ago.
up a
That's
city.
very recent.
Like let's give his feet. Miss, correct me if I'm wrong. He terrorized a teenager, blew up a city.
Yeah, and now he's killed a few other
Yeah,
characters.
so he's killed people, but Voldemort kills people, but all he did was try to take over Hogwarts. So my point is that, and I'm not trying to downplay Sukuna. I'm trying to say that, like, if we were to put it on paper, what did Sukuna do? Like, in the realm of the story, I'm sure he's decimated thousands and millions of people, but from what we know, all he's done is destroy a city and terrorize a teenager.
That's true. My surprise mostly came from the fact that he's really well loved within the JJK community. So him getting 0 votes is a bit surprising.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really well loved character. And when it comes to the other two, I have nothing to say. Midori is a really interesting character, and Shishio Makoto is my favorite character from Kenshin. So I'm happy he got some votes.
I love your Shishio Makoto. I honestly voted for him. My one of those 2 votes is mine. Because I knew Aizen would win, so I went for Makoto.
So you went for the
I went for it. I said I knew Aizen would win, so I said I'm gonna go for. And I love Aizen, but I said Makoto Shishio is one of my favorite villains of all time, and he was before Aizen, so I feel like
I do wonder if any candidate in this poll will win a majority of the votes. If one of them will have 13 votes or more.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna say anything, but let's.
We're gonna have to wait and find out.
But Miss, you have to give your tally of the villain votes.
So for what, those 3?
No, just the villains in general. And Tokita Nico, Tiger Nico gained 1 vote, which, yeah.
Let's see. Hold on, because I can tell you who Neve voted for because she sent me the format for the voting.
Yeah, she did not vote for Tiger Nico, I believe.
No, she voted for Midora. Like me, I'm pretty sure I voted for Midora.
Actually, you 2 were the only ones who voted for Midora.
I love being a Toriko fan. It's great.
It's so good.
I love it. It's amazing.
Don't worry, Toriko's gonna win 1 category. Don't worry, guys.
I bet it.
You know which one it will win, but
I'm very confident
Come
in
on,
which one it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Aizen's great. Haven't read Kenshin. I love Midora. He's probably the best character in Toriko. Probably.
I agree with Ichiryu, but I see your point.
Yeah.
And I also see your point. It's between those two, basically.
Yeah, like literally the three brothers are the best characters. Can we agree on
Yeah,
that?
the old people.
Yeah,
The
of course.
old
Yeah,
The old
yeah.
people are the best guys in
Of
Tokyo.
course.
It's the only series where the old people are better than the new people.
Don't have much to say on most of the other characters. I'm not shocked that Sukuna didn't really get, because Sukuna's popular, but I think Sukuna's popularity is mostly just he's so raw. Oh my god. And not much
Black Air
beyond that.
Force energy, all of
He is
that.
the Black Air Force energy. He's cool, but not much else.
He's the
As for
demon
Tiger
guy.
Nico, post Ashura, the extent of Tiger Nico's villainy has been going, very good. More of my disciples and allies have died. Everything is going exactly as planned, and then he disappears for another 50 chapters.
He's just funky like that.
He's a funky guy.
So, a quick catch up on the chat. Joseph said, which is just ridiculous. Tenryo said, I enjoy Oma, but Omega resurrecting them was just a big L. Listen, watch my video about that because I agree, but I also don't care. Clary said, I feel like we don't get enough info on how Meliodas was before and how he fell for the original Elizabeth. Yeah, we really do not. That is actually a fair criticism. I kind of wish if they were going to have him fall for her and over through generations. Yeah, I mean, falling for her through generations doesn't bother me. I want to know how they fell in love in the first place. Because, granted, Miss, you know this. I've spoken about it many times. I will kill 1,000 people on a train to save my wife.
Right.
No problem.
Power of the wife
Do
guys.
not put me in front of that red trigger and bet my wife's life because I will kill all of humanity. Fuck you. I do not care. So yeah. But that's different. But I do like the idea that Clarice is bringing up because there is a problem with Seven Deadly Sins where we are to understand that Meliodas falls in love with Elizabeth. Fantastic. But we never see it, and we probably should see it, like how it happens, because we're led to believe, okay, they're in love, greatest couple of all time, Beauty and the Beast, that kind of idea. But we never see it, and not seeing it kind of makes it not real. So I do agree with Clarice in that regard. I kind of wish that they'd have some kids with the different reincarnations. Well, they did have kids in Four Nights of the Apocalypse, so Language of the Generations, blah blah blah. I feel like if I had to choose, Kenshin feels the most solid in his arcs. I mean, Kenshin's the most well-rounded character. You can make that as an argument. In his arc and storyline with us discovering more about him through the story author side, of course. Tenryo says, when you are under the impression Iceman wasn't going to win this category, you thought that this was a stream. Fascinating.
Since when were you under the impression that Aizen
Clary
wasn't?
said, I like Kenshin's villain is actually pretty chilling. Tenryo said Shishio is the Kenshin villain. He's the villain of manga, if you really want to talk smack. He's top 5 in the category easily. If he's not top 1, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Clary said, is it the most evil villain or the villain that fits the story? No, the category is basically the main villain of each story, which you were able to, if you watch the video explaining it beforehand, it was the video saying that if you think that Madara is the better villain over Pain, you can vote for Madara. It's fine. It's a Naruto villain. You can vote for a Naruto villain. It's all good. Tenryo said between that three-way, I'd put... okay. Things were deleted. So. It's what it is. Anyways, alright. So So pretty much we talked about all these ones, I think. I don't think anybody really wants to talk about. We talked about all the main ones. I'm very upset about Hao Asakura, who I consider the second greatest shonen antagonist of all time.
I think it's just a matter of the popularity of the series. A series that not as many people have read is not going to get the votes.
Nobody read Shaman King. It's very unfortunate. It is what it is. And then I don't give a shit about the Demon King. All for
does
one.
anyone? Does anyone?
No, and Sukuna.
I don't think anyone does.
It doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. So we are going to go down to the rival thing.
I will be shocked beyond measure if... Okay, do we have Vegeta on here? I don't remember.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do.
Okay, it's going to be him or
what's surprising is that it's only 12. You said 13, and I was questioning it. And I was like, it's only 12. And I'm like...
All right, so who got half the votes?
Alright, so
it's either Sasuke
really
or Vegeta.
Like Sasuke for some fucked up reason. People like Sasuke.
He's the okay. He is in this day and age. When the children watched Naruto, he's the anime rival.
Yes. All right, Misk, I'm gonna let you go off because I'm gonna take a break. So go for it.
I haven't even fucking read Naruto, and I know it. Anytime we get some new shonen series, and you have the deuteragonist or the rival character who's like fucking kind of angsty, or they got black hair or some shit, they got a revenge quest. It's they always get compared to Sasuke. He is always the guy that they compare him to. So I am not shocked for even a moment that he got half the fucking.
It's really unsurprising.
Or not. Oh wait, I'm silly. I'm fucking stupid. The stream delay. Sasuke got 4 votes. Vegeta's the one that got half. Never mind.
Yeah, well, I'm not even watching the stream. My Wi-Fi couldn't handle that. It can barely handle the VC.
Well, never mind. Fuck this day and age. Obviously, Vegeta's the most iconic.
Well, yeah.
Shonen rival character ever. Literally everyone is compared to Vegeta.
He's the rival, yes.
He's the guy where like, oh, he's a villain for some stretch of the story, and then the MC beats him up, and then he becomes his not quite friend ally, but someone who will kind of work with him, and we'll be competing with him. He's the rival. And then you have Sasuke, obviously, getting to second place, because, it's fucking...
Because it's Sasuke.
If Vegeta is the anime rival for, like, the 90s kids, Sasuke is, like, the anime rival for the late 2000s, early 2010s anime kids.
Yeah.
Simple as...
It's as simple as that.
I voted for Starjin because I haven't fucking read DBZ and Naruto. And I consider Uryu... Honestly, Uryu doesn't even have a big enough role in the story for me to think about it much. Kobe...
Does Ichigo really even have a rival? Does he even really have one?
He's had like a couple, I guess. There are a few people that want to be his rival. Luffy doesn't really have a singular rival, and I don't know if Kobe really works out as it. I don't really think of him as the rival. I haven't read Shaman King. I don't fucking like Bakugo. I haven't read Seven Deadly Sins. I don't consider Megumi to be his rival. I consider Megumi to just be the deuteragonist. Because it doesn't so much feel like Megumi's competing with Yuji. It feels more like he's just trying to like stay at the same level as him so that for both of them, really. So they're not a burden to each other. Artist, I see you in the chat. Do you want to join the VC? I gave you the role. You should be able to join.
Join us.
Yeah, seriously. Artist, join us. Why not?
And then I guess Ryan's technically a rival character. I suppose.
Yeah,
So,
technically.
I mean-
Oma has several rival characters.
So here's the biggest problem I have with this is that all the votes didn't go to Vegeta immediately.
Okay, but you got half. You got 50 fucking.
Yeah, I
Wait,
mean,
no.
but
Wait,
can we
I'm
not
fucking
all agree?
stupid.
Who the fuck decided that any rival character, which by the way was created and made the first leap, Vegeta is like literally all these characters stepped into Vegeta's shoes.
Okay,
Meaning
but there's
they're
a
his
difference
shoes.
between laying the foundation for something and being better.
The
at
best.
doing
Yeah,
it.
but none of them are better at it.
Do you think you may be biased in that opinion?
No, I'm not, because look, listen, I love Bleach and I love Kenshin and I love all these series, but can you honestly tell me that anybody is better at being a rival than, like, if you had Gary
Oh,
fucking
no,
Oak
not on this
here,
list, at least.
I would give you some measure, but
At the very least, not on this list. I'm just saying.
yeah, no. I'm just saying in general, Vegeta is the literal. When you think rival, you think Vegeta.
The funny thing about
Yeah.
this list is I look at the list and I'm like, I look at it, and I haven't read all of these series, of course, but I read it and I'm like, yeah, Vegeta, Sasuke, Bakugo, these are the only ones that I would really consider straight up rival characters. Everyone else is just sort of adjacent, or they're a deuteragonist, or they were an antagonist.
Well,
Or
Starjun,
Who haven't read
Who I voted for
is
because I love
100% the Vegeta to Toriko.
I suppose, yes.
Yeah,
God, I
and
love
Ren
Starjun.
is definitely like if I had included Hunter x Hunter, I would totally have put Killua in this.
That's fair. That's fair.
Killua's to the
That's
gone,
fair, yeah.
you know, and that would have been relevant. So
I guess I
point-
just always tend to think of rival characters as more of a slightly more antagonistic. I don't know. In my mind, they're always just kind of an in-between space. But
I mean,
I haven't read
the-
enough of these series to say how much they fell into that.
I agree with you because the category is broad. We're going to get into more broad category in the next one, but I do agree with you, Miss, because there is, like, main character is obvious, right?
Right.
Villain is obvious. Once you get into who's the secondary character or who's the rival character, then it's like,
It gets iffy.
it gets gray. It gets murky.
Yeah.
So, as a result, I don't think anybody in this category can hold a candle to Vegeta, and I don't think that's bias. I did not vote for Goku, and I did not vote for Frieza. But if anybody in their right mind thought about a rival character, Vegeta is the original anti-villain rival character, and if you don't vote for him, you're a fucking idiot. It's no different than not voting for Sailor Moon as the original shoujo protagonist. Like, it's factually incorrect
I
if
can
you
see
do
that.
not vote for that. Like, it's just wrong. So I don't know. But all right, so we are going to drop down to, speaking of lovely females, we are going to drop down to, once again, here's we need to talk about this before we even get underway. I will quickly run through the chat. Where did I leave off? Watch the 4 Kids stuff of Shaman King, says Clarice. Sasuke ruined Naruto. I'm passionate about this. Dude took over the story. He did. Tenryo says, I will say this about Starjun. His fight with Toriko is so goddamn amazing. It is one of the best fights in manga. Miss, you can attest to that. It was fucking
Yeah,
fantastic.
I agree.
And Bernice, Bernice can attest that too.
Yeah.
One of the greatest
I
fights.
guess that's that.
Yeah. Clarice said, I think I'd vote for Bakugo. What is wrong with you, Clarice? What is wrong with you? Tenryo said, Vegeta getting the most votes isn't just nostalgia. He's legitimately a well-written character. He is, because he went from literally, I'm going to kill the main character, to being one of the most lovable characters of all time. That is a hard... Shadow the Hedgehog is based on this motherfucker. So, like, how do you do that? Clarice said, I don't know, was a rival, maybe Renji, maybe a romance rival. Once again, you could vote for Renji. You didn't need to vote for Ishida. You could have voted for Byakuya, Renji, anybody who was a rival to Ichigo. You can vote for them. I made that clear in the video I posted. You could vote for anybody. You just need to specify, and I would add the vote. But nobody did. Saitō Hajime is an underrated villain. 100%. Saito was... Yeah. If it weren't for New Age manga... I'm sorry, Saito. Saito is one of the greatest fucking characters. I love Saito.
No, he's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you, Bernice. Clarice said, I'm still working through Dragon Ball Z, just ended the Cell Saga, so I can't give Vegeta much. You gotta give Vegeta more. Final Flash, motherfucker. You need to watch the anime. Some Bruce
these
Faulkner.
votes or something.
Yeah,
These results for the female row, I'm not really shocked at all.
Bakugo feels better
not
to
on
me
this team.
for a rival because it feels like there's weight to them catching up. Killua feels more like a friend. He's a friend, but he was a rival at first. And once again, Shaman King did the exact same thing. Like, they both did the exact same rescue arc. So, there's not really a rival character. See, some of them, it's sort of hit and miss with the categories. It's hard to... Tenryo said, it makes zero sense that Bakugo has no personal enemy to fight like Deku. Okay. But at the time, it made sense. See, how did Nami get 0 votes? Listen,
Well,
it's
you
not
look at the
about Best Girl.
competition.
We're going to talk about this. All right,
Oh
so
God, we're gonna talk about this.
a little bit. Very, very
We have to.
quickly. So, first and foremost. All right. So, anybody have anything else to say before we get into the main girl, not best girl, main girl category?
I feel like I'm gonna want to die.
I'm not looking at the votes. I don't have the stream open, so
I can feel I'm
Should be a
gonna want to
surprise for me.
die because this is a stream being hosted by Griever, and Nobra got the second most votes, even if she doesn't even have half as many as the number 1 spot.
Okay, so first and foremost, let me be fucking clear. This
Okay, here we
was
go.
the main girl category, not the best. Listen, if this was best girl, Yoruichi would win 110% of the day.
Obvious.
Oh yeah,
Obviously.
definitely.
Yoruichi is best girl across all manga history. No one's ever going to argue that. Anybody who does is a fucking idiot. Alright? Let's be real. This is main girl. As in the main girl who shows up the most and has the most impact on every single manga. And once again, just like I read about the villain and the rival and everything, everyone was free to vote and say, hey, I don't think Bulma is the main girl of Dragon Ball Z. It's Chi-Chi, or it's Videl, or it's somebody else.
Android.
You were free
Android 18.
to vote. Right. You were free to vote for somebody else. These are the
Yes.
tallied results. So, Rukia winning 10. A little surprising by the number of votes, but you know what? Hell yeah. I'm good with
Yeah, I
that.
agree.
Rukia is awesome. Anybody got a problem with that, Miss?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
All right.
no, not at
So
all.
the next one was, of course, Nobara, which I have a serious problem with.
Yeah,
but
I know.
there's some genuine-
We know.
You know what?
We know,
I'm just
Griever.
Can we just Griever? We know.
I'm gonna let. No, I'm
we
not gonna
know,
say
yeah.
anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let Misk and Bernice talk about why they think Nobara deserves a second spot.
Why do we have to? Oh, I'll tell you
Why do
why
we
she got it.
do
Because
that?
JJK is the popular series right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not telling you what to say, man. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
anything.
that's the reason.
That's the thing.
Listen,
It's
I didn't
fucking
make the
popularity.
listen. I made the list, but I'm unhappy at the vote. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to say anything. All right. So nobody's willing to talk on Nobara's behalf because she's a
Listen,
shitty character in
Griever,
the
I don't want
first
to talk
place,
about
so
shonen women
let's-
in general. Like 90% of them are
Literally.
non-characters.
All right, so
talk about.
wait a minute.
Let's see.
Hold on.
There's like-
Hold on. So first and foremost, Rukia Kuchiki, Setsuna, Anna, Nami, Bulma, the original fucking badass, the Sigourney Weaver of shonen manga is sitting here with 2 less votes than Nobara. I do not give a fuck. Alright, since Bernice and Miss were too pussy to fucking talk about it, I'm gonna straight up
value
say
my
it.
I'm
time.
gonna. I'll be back in a
Nobara is
few
a
minutes.
piece of
Griever,
shit
Don't worry, I'll
character.
be back in a couple minutes.
She's a piece of shit. She is literally Bulma 2.0, but a shitty version of Bulma. And Bulma did it better in 1989. So let's go. That's my take on it. I'm actually more depressed that Kaede got 0 votes. This is so sad because she's total waifu material. The next one is, of course, Anna. Who is my personal waifu, 110%.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anna is the greatest female woman. If you don't count Izumi Curtis, Anna is Izumi Curtis. Same type of character.
Yeah, anyway.
110%.
Anna's good. Anna's good.
Greatest female character ever written. Easy, no problem. Then we have a tie
Big
for...
statement,
what were you saying, Bernice?
Greatest female character, that's a big statement, but she's really good, so I'm not gonna talk about it. She's
I
really
just
good.
meant in manga, in shonen manga.
Well, oh yeah, in shonen manga it's more understandable.
In Kangen right now, so I had to check in.
And then we have Setsuna and Bulma
I
tied for
voted
the next place.
I voted for Setsuna.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll admit I voted for Anna. That's what put us over a 3-way tie between Anna, Setsuna, and Bulma. What do you guys have to say about Setsuna?
Hype as fuck. The hypest old lady in anime.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The
She's really
only
good.
old lady in anime I can think of. It's like 99%. Oh man, the old dudes in anime slap so hard. They do, but like we don't have any grannies that slap really hard. That's what Setsuna's for.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what we have.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And then we have now.
She's great.
Since I'm old enough to remember, Bulma was the original Sigourney Weaver of Shonen Women. She, a lot of people remember her from the Namek Saga, and if any of you have watched Team 4 Stars videos, you know that they also understand why Bulma was so hated early on in the 2000s, because she was on Namek, and most people grew up on the Namek Saga. That's the problem, is that Bulma is actually one of the most innovative. She slapped a god of destruction in the fucking face and created the greatest meme of all time. That's my Bulma! You know, like, you cannot summarize a honest... See, people fail to understand this. An honest marriage is based on the moment anybody hits your wife. If you don't do what Vegeta did, you aren't in love with your wife. It's a simple, it's 2 + 2 = 4. It was the greatest. Battle of the Gods was literally a lesson to every marriage in history. Most people didn't pick up on that. But it seriously is. No, and
Yeah,
you
agree.
guys think I'm joking. I'm not joking. It's that easy. If you don't feel the way that Vegeta felt about Bulma being slapped, then you don't love your wife. It's that simple. If you love your wife, you're going Super Saiyan. I'm not kidding. That is the way love works. It's that easy. It's so easy to be in love. It's that hard to not. Like, it's so easy. So, yeah. So my point is that Bulma brings out the best in every man ever, and if you actually watched or read Dragon Ball from 1986 all the way, which I wasn't alive back then, but if you read all of Dragon Ball, read all of Dragon Ball Z, read all of Dragon Ball GT, read all of Dragon Ball Super, went up to this point, you understand what a great character she is. She's probably the greatest written female character, period, of all time in manga history, because she's got 4 fucking decades behind her. Kind of hard to top that. And then after that we have Elizabeth in Seven Deadly Sins, which...
Fair, I guess. I mean, it's the only one on the list I haven't read, that I can say.
I mean, she's not bad. She's not great. She's there. And then
She is average shonen female character,
no, she's above average. She's
but
above
not by
average.
much.
She is above average. She is a good written. I just don't want to go on too long about that. But she is a great written, without spoilers, she's a great written character. If you read the whole story, you understand her plight. It makes sense. It's 3-dimensional. She's not a bad written character. But then you have Karu from Kenshin, which, Bernice, what do you think? 0 votes,
I mean,
makes sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, in my opinion, Kenshin's biggest weakness are the female characters. They're really not that good.
100% with that. Nami, same thing. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not best girl. It doesn't mean who has the best titties. You know, it's about who's the best written character, and main girl. And I'm sorry, nobody voted for Nami. If you're upset about that, maybe vote next time. Sakura, not surprised.
No one cares.
Araka, not surprised.
It's my hero. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. Yeah, basically.
Kaede, not surprised. So, next one. Let's go. And let's check in with the chat just in case.
Which category are we at here now?
Mentor character, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
So, before
That's a tough one.
Let's see.
That's actually a really tough one. Because we got quite a few very popular ones in there. We got Urahara, we got Jiraiya, we got Gojo.
I mean, honestly, they're all good.
And
Yeah, the mentors
This is
are
the
a
one
hard one.
case where they're all good.
Ooh,
Clarice
this one
said, I don't know, I was a villain, maybe.
close.
Renji, maybe a romance rival. Seto is an underrated villain. Clarice said, I'm still working through Dragon Ball Z, just ended the Cell Arc, so I can't give Vegeta much. Clarice said, Bakugo feels to me a rival. Since it seems like there is weight to them catching up, Killua feels like a friend. It makes
I think you
Zero
read that
says
one already.
Bakugo has no personal enemy
Yeah,
to
you read these
Deku.
ones.
Tenryu asked, how did Nami get 0 votes?
Tenryo said, how did Nami get 0 votes? I mean, once again, it's
about the competition.
Not the best girl, it's the main girl.
Tough competition.
And
Who's the best main girl?
yeah, who's the best main girl? It's not about who's the best girl, because once again, Yoruichi would win. I mean, that's obvious. Clarice said Elizabeth or Ahime. Tenryo said Rukia has too much going for her. Negative impact, character, relationships, scores of victories against her enemies, etc. Bulma is still useful even now, even with Vegeta isn't nostalgia. Yeah, to be fair, Bulma in GT 30 years later made him become Super Saiyan 4. So Bulma's still relevant 40 fucking years later. I mean, you can't not vote for her. Clarice said, I'm still devastated what she broke up with Yamcha. I mean, Elizabeth is under her point of plot to get both moving and stirring in the way back so that Impact Elizabeth wins. Alright, so we caught up with the chat. So, what do you guys think? Misk, Bernice?
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised Urahara won because he's like one of the best characters in Bleach.
Yeah, he really
He's
is.
he's the guy. Rayleigh 5, I'm actually kind of surprised by that a little bit. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think just for me, Rayleigh's a good character. He's a good mentor character, but I think his time within the series is so small relative to a lot of the other mentor characters that I don't really think about him as much.
I think it's
Love Ichiro,
popularity
obviously.
because of One Piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you got Master Roshi, Jiraiya, Gojo. They all get
They're all
3
popular
votes, which I'm
characters.
not shocked by because popularity there, and I'm pretty sure Neve voted for Oma's Nico.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Bernice,
have
you.
too much to say about them.
So,
Yeah, since I'm not watching the stream, I gotta ask, how many votes did Ichiru get?
Did who?
there were
Ichiro got
22
one.
voters.
One, yeah, it was one. That was me.
God's strongest Toriko fan.
Yeah, no, I really have no issue with anyone on this list winning or losing. They're all characters I enjoy. I think they're all good characters within their own manga and just in general. So every winner is justified in this category.
Yeah, like, I will agree with both my cohorts here, Bernice and Misk, in the way saying that the mentor category, everyone's a winner. There is no bad character in this.
There's no bad choice.
There's no bad choice. Regardless what you vote for, there is no bad choice. I personally voted for Master Roshi. But
I believe.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
the reason being, not only is he the oldest among all these, but he was the one, and this is what made it. I struggled, ladies and gentlemen. I struggled between picking Kisuke Urahara or Hiko Seijuro. I struggled to pick between them. But then I remembered, not the super episode, but the super manga chapter, where Master Roshi, remember, Goku and Vegeta can destroy galaxies at this point. And Master Roshi is sitting there in the Tournament of Power going, who taught you that? Who taught you that powering up makes you better? Was it Vegeta? Was it Frieza? I didn't teach you that. I remember the Turret Hermit School. And this is the way we do things. Kamehameha! And he dodged one of the guys. God Ki Goku could not dodge this motherfucker. Master Roshi dodged. Not well, but he did it. And even the gods of destruction looked on and went, who the fuck is that old man? How the fuck is he dodging? Because this is a true master of the martial arts. It's not about powering up. It's not about getting the next Super Saiyan form. It's not about you have the biggest, baddest ki blast. It's about being the strongest, being master of yourself. Master Roshi is the epitome of what it means to be a true mentor and a master. And he told Goku, who taught you that? I didn't. And that's how Goku won that tournament, because Goku was losing. If everybody recalls, in both the anime and the manga, Goku was losing.
Yeah.
Goku won later because he listened to who? Not King Kai, not Beerus, not Whis, not Vegeta, not Frieza. He listened to his first master. That puts Master Roshi 110% above. I'm not saying who's stronger or better or anything like that, but Master Roshi's been around longer, and he still taught a guy who can stomp all these characters. He still taught a Planet Buster. You still got something to learn, kid. that's what makes him number one to me. I don't see a reason to not have Master Roshi as the greatest mentor of all of manga history. Because 50 years, he was there before I was born, and he's still teaching Goku. And I'm 32 fucking years old. That's amazing to me. It's awesome. So, yeah, so we have... But we also have, of course, Master Roshi tied with Jiraiya and Gojo. So, Miss, do you want to talk about Gojo a little bit? Because
I think Gojo's he's interesting because I don't know if Gojo's necessarily one of the best mentor characters, but I think kind of the idea or the motivation behind Gojo being a mentor is a really good idea, especially just, Gojo's reasoning for deciding to become a mentor. The sort of the original premise given at the start of the series, and then some of the stuff that we've gotten in the most recent chapter. I think it's just really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Bernice, do you have any characters on the list you want to talk about?
No, let's see. Not really. I think we've talked about the big ones. I just want to mention that All Might is the one My Hero character that has managed to stay relatively good throughout all the ups and downs of the series. He's the one that stayed the most consistent.
I would agree with that.
I want to commend him for that.
I really miss Stars and Stripes. I thought she was amazing too.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear. Quick shout out, of course, to all the great mentors that we did not discuss, because we also have Takita Nico, who Neve voted for, and Neve's not here, but I mean, either way,
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
yeah, he's not perfect, but he's a great character. Jiraiya is probably one of my favorite Naruto characters in a manga that I think is 6 out of 10. Though Misk already pointed out that my voting points mean nothing, so
I'm just saying,
apparently
you
6 means nothing. So
no, I'm just saying you throw out different numbers every time you rate a fucking series.
oh, shut the fuck up.
I mean, right.
But no, Misk is not wrong. I do that, and I change my mind every 5 seconds. So, but I do think that Jiraiya is one of the greater written characters of Naruto. So, yeah, and I think Bernice, Misk, and myself all love Rayleigh. There's no reason.
He's a cool motherfucker.
There's no reason not to love the Dark King.
He's just a cool guy.
Shiva got no votes. Understandable. There's not really a mentor character in Shaman King, so. Ichi Ryu. Unfortunate that they only got 1 vote. Bernice, I believe that was yours.
Toriko popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me.
He is. To be fair, I think he was. The way Bernice described it, he's the most father figure out of all of them.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah.
I would say he's the most godfather figure. Yeah. And Kisuke winning
Him and
does not
Nico.
surprise me.
I'd say him and Nico.
So the next one is power scaling, or power abilities, I should say.
I would not be shocked if Devil Fruits win.
Yeah.
That's what I voted for.
Yeah, so Devil Fruits won with 12 votes.
There we go. We got another majority. Not fucking shocked in the slightest. The versatility of Devil Fruits is like one of the best things about One Piece. Is there's not really any rules behind them. You just have different types of Devil Fruits, but Devil Fruit powers can be pretty much literally anything, and that's the best thing about them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think there's much else to say other than that. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
Bernice?
Like-
Anything? Clary said, I mean, Elizabeth is the center point of the plot to getting it moving and starting it back, so Impact Elizabeth wins. Justin said, I forgot to vote. This is so sad. Clary said, Jiraiya mentor feels like he has the emotional impact and helped give Naruto more skills. Clary said, everyone's a winner. That's fair. Tenryo said, a lot of these are great characters. It's so difficult. I ultimately choose Jiraiya. Clary said, that's a compelling argument for Roshi. Clary said, the ghost maybe would be a mentor in Shaman King. So, yeah. Bernice,
I don't
what do
think
you
this one
about
requires
the
much
Matrix?
discussion.
The power.
Yeah.
Sorry. The power.
The province. Well, I personally voted for Toriko, the gourmet cells.
Mhm.
I think
That
gourmet
decision
cells
was-
they're an alright power system.
I chose that because it speaks to me. As
That's
someone
fair.
who
You are
fucking loves
Italian.
food. I am Italian, yeah. So it speaks to me.
I mean,
Which,
but, like, in retrospect, for example, I did not vote for Toriko. And the reason I didn't vote for them is because I have such a queasy stomach. Like, if I knew that tomorrow, if I could flip the switch and be like, yeah, I can eat like Toriko, I would totally vote for Toriko tomorrow. But if I knew that in my, like, I could flip the switch and then I'd have to eat with my own stomach, I would never vote for that. Because I have a weak constitution. I have I'm nausea and all this shit. I love food, but I can't eat like Toriko can.
You see, Clarissa, the reason I like devil fruits more than Nen is because, yes, Nen's also incredibly versatile, but Nen's also really complicated. Whereas with devil fruit, it's just like, oh, I ate a fruit and now I have this silly power, and there's not really anything else behind it there.
Right.
It's just really
It's
easy to
basically
turn
it.
your brain off and
And
enjoy it.
after devil fruits, we have spiritual pressure, which makes sense.
It's also quite versatile.
Because you can have keto and stuff, and then you have what Bernice was talking about, which was gourmet cells. Like, actually, the way Bernice, I believe you said if you could have gourmet cells, not the eat and gain things, but if you had the ability of having gourmet cells, right?
No, I didn't mention that. I just said I liked them because they spoke to me.
Okay, because if I could have gourmet cells, then I would choose Toriko 100%. If it was like, yeah, you can pick a power system and you can have gourmet cells, it's sort of like I pick hockey and I can have Conquerors. You know?
See, Tenryu, Cursed Energy is basically like a redux version of Nen, and that's why I like it more than Nen.
It's simpler. It's the TLDR version of
It's the TLDR version of Nen. It's just so much easier to understand.
So much easier.
So, and then we have Ki at 1 vote. Once again, Dragon Ball Z Ki can pretty much do everything that Bleach, Naruto, everything can do, but yeah. Then we had Chakra at 1 vote. 0 votes for Magic. 0 votes for Magic. 0 votes for Quirk. 2 votes for Cursed Energy.
Shout out to Tenryu for voting for that, and not me.
Shout out.
Yeah, I mean, once again, why the fuck, Miss? Maybe you can explain it to me, but why the fuck would you vote for Cursed Energy over like gourmet cells or devil fruits?
I don't know. Domain expansions are cool, but yeah.
Yeah, but
fuck
you
it.
can do that with a devil fruit.
Yeah, so that's why I voted for devil fruit.
Domain devil fruit.
And then the Kengan Association. I don't know.
Neve just likes the non-power system.
Yeah. I mean, what's the power system
Just
in Kangen?
what is there is no
Martial
power
arts?
system. Just martial arts. I
Going
guess.
limp.
I love
All
going late.
So now we're going to the organization.
Gote sweep. I'm calling it right now.
All right,
You think
here
so?
we go. And
Okay.
you're not wrong.
Okay. How many votes does it have?
9 for the Gote.
That's
Yeah, makes sense.
slightly less than I expect. Is it? I don't know.
Nah, I think.
I
it's
mean, there are
fair.
some pretty fucking popular groups on there, actually. So,
A lot of
does that
people,
need much
like,
discussion?
To be fair to the One Piece community, I got a couple for Warlords and 4 for Yonko. So,
I see.
So once
Oh,
again,
yeah.
I did say that any group that you want to vote for.
It just seems the groups of note is fucking the Gote and the Yonko. Yeah.
What a surprise!
And yeah, 2 for the Kengan Association. Kengan Association's great, but like the Gote is just it's an all-time classic.
Yeah.
It's the GOAT team. You know them, you love them.
So the Gote 13 clearly swept this one.
Yeah, fucking obviously.
and then the Yonko comes second place. Clearly, I mean, our One Piece organizations come second place. Because I did get 2 votes for the Warlords.
So you just added them up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Now, the last one is setting, right? Or world building.
Yep. So
Now,
all right.
this is a tough one here, because world building is the thing that One Piece is most well regarded for, but I think Toriko world building is better because almost all of it is exclusively relevant to the narrative, whereas a lot of One Piece world building serves no purpose to the narrative, but Toriko is nowhere near as popular as One Piece, so I think One Piece is probably going to win.
I named every single island in this archipelago. Why?
You read
Why would
all
you
the chat up to date, and then we will.
Let's see.
And
It's
comment on it.
Not really much here in the chat of note that hasn't already been gone over. So now I'm just waiting for the stream delay to catch up at some point.
Any point?
Any point? How's the weather up there? It's been fucking raining up a storm down here.
I was looking at it. I thought there was. Oh, maybe there's not. All right. Well, I will reveal the last of it. Here we go.
And now I wait the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I love speed delay.
Small margin, but I think our
small margin,
ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see. Let's see it. It's gonna be here any second now. Bernice, what do you think's gonna win? You think One Piece is gonna win?
Yeah. Knowing the audience, I think it's gonna be One Piece.
Knowing the audience, let's see those numbers.
It was close. I voted for Toriko World.
That's what I like to fucking see.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I saw it 8-8.
Oh, Toriko won.
And I was the deciding vote. I'm not gonna lie.
You are so real for that. Oh my god!
I tipped the scales. It was 8-8, and I said, "Fuck."
Listen, they're both very close to each other, but Toriko's world building is cooler, and all of it's relevant. There's no SBS world building. There's no here's the names of all fucking 30 islands and Whole Cake or whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. None of that shit is important.
Yeah. Okay.
All world building in Toriko is important.
Yes. Give me more food casinos. Give me more giant mammoths. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm with you, boys. I'm with you 100%. Like, so let's talk about the Toriko world for a moment.
I love it. It's just big and hype. It's literally the author just went, what if I just made this as big and silly as possible? And then he just fucking does it.
And then
it worked. It works.
It's so many people complain that Hunter x Hunter is a bigger world, and I'm like, I don't care, because the difference is Hunter x Hunter has been on break since before I was born, and the difference is that Toriko wasn't, and it explored the gourmet world and made it fucking amazing. The 8 Kings. Jesus Christ! I nearly voted in the organization thing. I nearly put a 1 there because I was like, the 8 Kings are kind of fucking cool. Like, seriously, the 8 Kings are better than the Gotei 30. Like, they're not better.
But the 8 Kings aren't really an organization.
Yeah, they're not better, but they're still...
And actually, Tenryu makes a good point. The Yonko aren't really an organization; they're just titles. So it would be the warlords.
Yeah,
that would be an
exactly.
organization.
So it was a battle in my own mind, and I did inevitably vote for yeah. But
Wow.
the point is that you look at the Torco world. This is Neptune-sized world with all this shit in it, and it's so
It's just
good.
so good. It's so good.
Yes.
What a delicious setting.
Nothing feels undeserved. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can make an empty world. You can say, my world's as big as Jupiter. But if you don't fill it with shit, it doesn't matter.
It's empty. It's nothing.
Right. You can make an empty world. Anyway, look at, what's that world? Not Skyfall. What's the, No Man's Sky. You can make a video game that's bigger than Minecraft. Great. Nothing in it? Nobody cares.
Right.
You need to make a game where everything matters.
Props to them for actually filling it up with stuff later on.
Hell
Yeah.
Good
Exactly.
job, No Man's Sky team.
But my problem is, I bought the original PS3.
Yeah, that's...
So, but anyways, the point is that here we go. So we got Toriko. Everybody can agree with that. Now, let's talk about the runner-up who almost lost.
One Piece. Every arc does world building. But the only thing is, I feel like every island in One Piece is just meant to be like a little set for the arc, and then is not super important to the world at large. And then, a lot of the One Piece world building is just really not important. It's just of non-relevance. It doesn't really carry any thematic weight or narrative weight. It just kind of exists. It's just there for Oda to be like, yeah, there's like 17 different islands on the archipelago here. I can name all of them. But they're not important.
I'm going to not push back on you, but I'm going to say that a lot of these worlds, which, once again, I picked these. Obviously, I had to include the big 3, right?
Right.
Obviously.
Then I picked a couple of older anime manga. Then I picked a couple of recent manga. At the end of the day, some of them were at a very high disadvantage.
Oh, no fucking shit. No shit.
Especially it
I
shows
guess Kengan world building.
Yeah, because when you go to this category, it's no contest. You're choosing between Bleach, Toriko, and One Piece.
And Bleach is not winning out of those 3.
And Bleach is always going to be third place between those 3. And nobody's... Even Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and all these fucking things that have fantastical settings and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, we're jumping to different planets and different worlds and stuff, but it's nowhere near.
It doesn't have that feel to it.
Right.
It's not engrossing. It doesn't really feel like a singular, thought-out world.
To be fair, Bleach doesn't feel like that either.
Yeah, Bleach kind of lacks in that respect, but at least it has a few things.
Feudal Japan
It's very
does
cool.
feel.
Bleach has a world that's suited for giving us cool shit, but in terms of world building in general, I feel like that's one of its weakest points.
Right, yeah.
Well, would you argue that Bleach is worse than Naruto?
Not as a series, and I haven't even read Naruto.
No, from a world-building perspective.
I can't say.
From a
I don't know how
world-building
good Naruto
perspective,
world building is.
I actually think Naruto is better in this aspect.
But Naruto is literally 5 villages built in Japan. How is that?
Not Japan.
Well,
Yeah,
to be
but-
fair,
Well, alright, random landmass.
Yeah.
See, that's not interesting. Bleach actually
No, but they
takes
have
place.
interesting
It does the
history.
Harry Potter thing. It
That's
does
why I
the
enjoy it.
jumping between worlds.
Anyway,
Yes,
Griever,
but the
since we got to through all the categories and Toriko fucking won best world building, I'm gonna head out for now. So thank you for having me on here. I hope I contributed.
You did indeed. Thank you very much,
Good.
Misk.
And I will see you around. Later.
Alrighty, thank you.
here.
So Bernice, explain your point.
Yeah, no, my point is that yes, in general, Bleach has a much cooler world. It has much cooler concepts. But I don't think that these concepts are well strung together. I think that it's missing out of the things that make good world building good world building. Like we know that there's a lot of districts, all those around the Serete,
Yeah.
the slums essentially, but we really don't know much about them.
No, we do
We really
not.
don't have a lot
Yeah.
to know about them. When instead with Naruto, we actually do explore even the smaller villages quite a bit. So I think that overall it does a stronger job in terms of the practical aspects of world building.
But okay, so it's great that you say, "Hey, we got 5 villages up in this bitch." But if you don't actually give us culture on the villages, it's no different. Because we learned very little to nothing in 700 chapters about the Village of the Mist. We learned next to nothing about the Village of the Sand. We learned nothing about these villages.
Well, to be fair, Griever, look at it like this, right? In the Serite, there's like a lot of, excluding the Soul Society, there's a lot of places, if I remember correctly, like where
Man.
normal.
What? Dude, you're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry.
No. Keep talking. Let me cry.
There are a lot of like.
Why would you do this on stream? Why would you?
There were a lot of places that normal souls would go to. And in reality, we only explored one of them, being at the beginning of the Rukia retrieval arc. So there is a lot of stuff Bleach didn't explore that it could have. But, you know, that's just a little bit on my point.
I don't give a fuck. You're right. Dude, I thought you were dead. I don't.
Jesus.
Well, damn.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was so scared for you.
Well,
I am
am
so
a
happy.
fan.
I'm serious. I can't stop crying. I'm very happy right now. I'm sorry, stream. I'm sorry. This is one of my best friends' band coming back from the dead here, like Harry Potter, after Deathly Hallows killed him. So, yeah, I'm a very happy camper right now. Let me tell you right now. This is the greatest Friday I've had all of 2023. Let's go.
Well, I'm glad I was able to make you smile a bit.
I am very happy. I'm going to be mad at you later. Don't you worry. But, yeah, so what were you saying about Rukia? Reiterate.
If I remember correctly, there were a lot more than the one we were shown. And if you want to bring up culture and whatnot, I believe that this is just my headcanon, but I believe that outside of when we were shown, a lot more of those districts had different cultures. Or I'd like to believe they did, but we were only shown the one.
I mean, yes, but we were also shown that they had different districts, meaning that they had different culture. We can assume or maybe not assume, but we can reiterate from the fact that they diverted themselves between elitist, like between the Serete and then the Rikogan district, that they had at the very least an elitist attitude.
Yeah.
So
Also,
so Bernice, what were you saying?
Sorry, give me a second. Yeah, it's incredible how every single time I'm supposed to be in a VC for longer than 5 minutes, I get sick. It is truly incredible timing. But yes, as I was saying, we can assume a lot of things, but they're never actually shown. And that's why I don't think that I think that Bleach's world building is quite lacking. We can make assumptions, but we have no definitive proof of those assumptions.
and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but
Go ahead.
if I'm correct, we didn't get. I mean, I know we're most likely going to see it in the new chapters to come when Bleach continues, of course, but we didn't see any of Hell, and it was made to be a big thing. But we saw it in movies, but I don't know if I want to consider those movies as canon. I don't know if they are canon.
No, they aren't. They aren't. Yeah, we already know.
That's a whole different realm in Bleach that we haven't even seen yet. I mean, we're now seeing it, but come on.
We knew that from chapter, I think it was chapter 9 to 13 or whatever, that we did see that the gates of hell exist.
Yeah, we saw.
But we didn't see hell. You're right, Band. We did not see actual hell. That was movie. That was movie
Right.
only. We have not seen hell yet.
Yes. So I feel like that's the issue. The issue with Bleach is not that it doesn't have world building, is that it introduces concepts but doesn't explore them. That's the thing.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep talking with my great friends, artist Bernice and Band. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't want to cry anymore on stream now the band's back. I'm very happy. These were happy tears, ladies and gentlemen. These are very happy tears. But I'd prefer to cry in private. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed the voting process here on the stream. It's been a great time. So like, comment, and subscribe as always. And we'll see you beautiful people back here once again for some more content, regardless of what it is. JJK reaction will probably be out in a day or so. I don't know. I'll get around to it. Anyways, have a good one. Bye-bye.